Hello everybody, welcome back to Doki Doki New Eyes. We're going to be loading the game from last time. Boom, right here. Recap. I don't remember what happened really, but playing from Yuri's point of view, go check it out in the last episode. Alright, so, I guess I should use my spacebar. You told me that you weren't actually, let me turn that down a little bit. Oh, great oogly boogloo. Turn that. There we go. You told me that you weren't feeling good, yes? Ooh, oops. Okay, well, no. I mean, I just can't understand what I'm feeling. It's a little strange. I'm not really tired or stressed. Everything's been going well, too. So it's just bothering me. I have that uneasy sensation, you know. Well, to me it's pretty clear. Is that so? Are you feeling the same? I do sometimes. Tell me, Yuri, this is just a guess, but aren't you feeling a little jealous? Jealous? Why would I be jealous? It seems like you've enjoyed talking to Jonny yesterday, and today, even though you chose the book for him to read, he's spending time with Natsuki. I'd understand if you were jealous, and it's not a bad thing, not at all. You said it yourself, you might be a little jealous of Sayori and Jonny, but I've never been jealous of Natsuki. She's one of my best friends. That's why you don't understand what you're feeling, in my opinion. Then again, this is only my guess. It could be something else, but take it easy, alright? Don't overthink it. Things will happen in due time. I just don't know if I could, or if I should believe what Monika's saying. It sounds like jealousy and could be a possibility in a way, but I just can't bring myself to accept that. Natsuki hates Jonny after all. That makes sense. I'll think about it then. You said you felt it before too. Was it because of one of us? It'd take a little bit too much time to explain. Yeah, I'm the god of this universe, of course. But you know that horrible feeling you get when you see something, or when you see something you can't have? That's that kind of jealousy. Don't be ridiculous, Monika. You're so motivated, you can get about anything you want. I trust you. Maybe you shouldn't. Well, I don't think it'll be possible this time. There we go. But that doesn't matter. Oops. I trust you to show Jonny that you want to be closer to him, alright? I'll do my best. Monika smiles sweetly and turns around. I really wonder what exactly she's talking about. She's always so determined. Her personality and her body make her a perfect high school student. What could be so inaccessible? Without another word, I follow Monika inside the building. Get closer to Jonny. I guess reading this poem will give me a better idea of who he is. Kind of a douche. It should make me be able to figure out his interests. I hope mine will give him the opportunity to express my opinion. Monika's silent. That's unlike her. She's usually talking when she isn't doing something else. Something's on her mind, that's for sure. By the way, Monika. You were searching for Sayori earlier, right? Did you finally ask her what you needed? What I needed? Haha, it was nothing like that. Then what was it? It's hard to explain, as I said. Let's just say it has a link to what I told you about jealousy. Does Sayori have anything to do with it? Anyways, let me just sidetrack this conversation. Why don't we head back to the club now? The others may be waiting for us, you know? She's being a little evasive. It doesn't bother me, but it makes me a little curious. Whoa. Whoa. Hold on. I'm curious. It doesn't bother me. Maybe I should ask Sayori. And then she just glitched out. But this isn't my business. Oh, she went in and just told her no. Oh, Monika, you sneaky bitch. If Monika doesn't want to talk about it, then I shouldn't keep bringing it up. Monika climbs up the stairs. I jog behind her to keep up the pace. I close the club door behind me. I immediately glance at Natsuki. What? She's sitting on the floor next to Jonny. They're both reading one of her manga. How am I supposed to talk to him now? Without a warning, Monika speaks with great projection. Oh, okay, good news, everyone. Jonny stares at her with an incredulous look. Are you all ready for today's poems? Oh god, I knew it was coming. But I really didn't want to share mine anymore. It's not going to... Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry, I just need to make sure you have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Natsuki looks at Jonny and realizes she's a little too close to him, just now. Why was Natsuki so aggressive towards Monika? This is unlike her. She values friendship as much as I do. Monika comes next to me and whispers, See, Natsuki feels a little bit more at ease now. Well, a little bit too much maybe, but still. Was it just me, or has she been acting different than usual? I've noticed it too. Natsuki never acts this way. Anyway, it does look like she's appreciating her time with Jonny though. So there's pretty good timing, don't you think? Indeed. I knew she wouldn't pretend for too long though. I guess you know her too well. Remember though, it's your turn to try and speak to him, alright? Monika winks at me and walks away to sit on a chair. I turn my head to look at Jonny and Natsuki. They're both getting up now. Getting up. I can't hear what they're saying, but it looks like Jonny is trying to give her the manga back. They talk for a few seconds and he keeps the manga? But I lent him a book. I look down. He probably prefers reading manga anyway. I hear the two of them walking back to the main table. Jonny puts the manga in his bag over the book I lent him. Monika was patiently waiting for them to finish, arms crossed. By the way, did you remember to write the poem last night? Yeah. Jonny looks slightly worried now. Did he even write a poem? Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Everybody gets their poems out of their bags. I reluctantly grab my notebook. It looks like Jonny actually wrote a poem after all. I stand still to get a good look at what he's written, but I can't see a thing. It looks like he's written a lot. I can't wait. Jonny stands in the middle of the room for a few seconds looking at everyone one by one. Is he hesitating to decide who he'll share his poem with? Suddenly, he takes a step towards Natsuki. He looks very surprised. Oh, she looks very surprised. But at least she doesn't seem to be angry as she was yesterday. I'm pretty sure that she's looking forward to reading a poem. She quickly reads it and looks at him. I can tell she... Are you alright? I stare at Monika without understanding what she said for a few seconds. Wait, what? I was so absorbed in Natsuki and Jonny, I didn't even see her standing right next to me. Oh, yeah. You do know what we had to share poems, right? Oh, that's right. Has Sayuri shown you hers yet? It looks like she's not really in the mood to do so. Why is that? She's just waiting for someone to share a poem. She's staring at Natsuki and Jonny. In my opinion, she's trying to get some information about other poems. Let's just leave her alone for a bit and share our poems with each other, alright? Man. So you're just trying to get everybody to not talk to her. You bitch. Alright then, I wanted to see Sayori's poem, but I guess it'd be better for us to leave her alone. Poor Sayori, I feel so bad for her. Let's share our poems then. What have you written, Yuri? I opened my notebook to the page I wrote yesterday. God, my writing's all shaky. I shyly hand the notebook to Monika. She reads it a few times and squints her eyes. Were you a little tired when you wrote this, Yuri? Your writing's all shaky. Just a bit. I was so worried about my mother that I didn't really work on my poem's presentation. Sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Actually, even though your writing's a little shaky, I really like your poem. I haven't read a lot of your works before, so correct me if I'm wrong, but this one is a little different from the ones you usually write. Right? Indeed. I wanted to try something that was deep with more symbolism, something with some kind of meaning. I wasn't sure what I wanted to say in this poem, but I think it just came out nicely. Have you understood something from it, except its superficial nature, of course? I'm not too sure, but is this about the past and it's linked to the present? The way I see it, the person described in this poem is like a ghost in a way. They're here, under the spotlight, but they're unable to let go of the past, while at the same time being a part of the present. Well, that's merely my interpretation, but I think some people are a bit like that. Monika chuckles. So, how did I do? Fascinating. Monika's interpretation was impressive. When I'm writing those poems, the concept is always a little abstract. However, Monika managed to take all those abstract concepts and explain them. I smile at Monika. Really impressive. It was on point. You really understood what I meant in the poem. Well, that was expected of you. You're the club president after all. Why, thank you, Yuri. Want to read my poem? I'd be glad to know what you think about it. Of course. It sucks. Go away, you fucking manipulative bitch. Fucking robot. Monika hands me her poem with a big smile on her face. I take it with two hands and slowly read it. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the sparkle protrudes, a noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun, but it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole, but it wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realized now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. There was a line from that reality song at the end. I get chills just by reading her poem. This is a masterpiece. It's easy to tell she wanted to put a message in her poem too, but I can't seem to figure out what it is. One thing's for sure, it's heartfelt. So, how was it? I spent a while on this one, you know. It's honestly really good. I can't find any flaws in your writing. I feel some kind of rhythm when reading it, and it's pretty easy to picture what you wrote in my head. The only thing I don't really understand here is the message you wanted to put in it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was your objective too, wasn't it? But since you wrote the poem about something you personally want to convey with your own meaning, I'd say it's pretty normal for me not to understand. It could have a link to that story about jealousy you told me earlier in a way. Seeing an infinite amount of possibilities and choices you can't reach. Well, a poem rarely makes me think that much, but as I said, it's pretty good. I look up from the poem to see Monica listening to me. Oh, I'm sorry, did I overthink it? I mean, haha, Yuri, that's alright. Actually, it's fascinating to hear your train of thought. I indeed wanted a poem to talk about a personal experience in that poem. I can't really tell you what it's about, as I'm not too sure myself, but I think your interpretation isn't too far from the truth. Haha, mine is next to yours. Mine is nothing next to yours, Monica. Well, only Jonny will tell us. Don't forget, you have to share your poem with him too. If you speak with all your passion, like you just did with me, there's no doubt things will be interesting. Monica winks at me and goes back to her chair. I look at my poem again. Turns out I may have made something a little better than I had initially expected. Suddenly, I hear some steps towards me. I stare at Jonny. Looks like he's done sharing his poem with Natsuki. She has an odd smile on her face. I've never seen her this way. Without a word, Jonny steps next to me, smiling. Does he want to show me his poem? I gently take the poem out of his hands. Adventure, alone, amazing, awesome, beauty, bled, blessed, broken, calm, charm, cheered, childhood, clumsy, comfort, color, cry, dance, dark, daydream, dazzle. Aren't those all, no. Some of those are like some of the girls. Well, what did I just read? It's a little weird. His poem has that simplistic vibe to it. I can clearly see he's put some effort into it. What's with that drawing? There's so many questions I wish I could ask him, but I just frustrate him. I can easily feel that it's a beginner's work. He's tried mixing styles and doing some freeform writing. How am I supposed to tell him that without hurting him? But that may be a good occasion to talk to him, just like Monica told me. What shall I start with? Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. I can't just deduce that this is his first poem. For all I know, he may have already written in the past, so I can't start giving him advice like that. I need to know if it's first or not. This is embarrassing. But seeing him look at me this way just makes me want to talk to him more. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. It sucked. No, it didn't suck. Did I just raise my voice? Sorry. Sayori is best girl. I love Sayori. I think Yuri used to be my favorite, honestly, until she became psycho. But I like all the girls pretty much. I'm so sorry. God, I sound way too harsh. I thought this would go well, but I'm just getting lost in my thoughts again. I need to be outgoing, but not too harsh. I need to be interesting. This is too hard for a person like me. Ugh. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, here goes. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different styles and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example, trying new things, you know, not sucking. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased though. Biased? How? What did I just say? I mean, I didn't mean to. Natsuki said so many bad things about Jonny, so I just assumed, though they looked like they got along well together. Who am I to say such things? I'll have to apologize to Natsuki. I just got lost in the train of thought again. I wasn't thinking straight. Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. Do you mind if I read your poem now? I take a deep breath. Now it's time to know what he'll think about it. Please do. Oh. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Oops. Be right back.
Either she really likes paradise or she looks at it as a chain of fishes in that state. Because if my window, if I didn't grab one for her leash whenever I was in the parking lot, she would have jumped out. She was crying. Like, I know you're gonna escape any chance you get. Like, I know you well enough. She was just panting and just looking out the window and had her head out the window when I was driving going 60 and she's just...
Yeah, she gets excited. I just don't like all the hair everywhere. You're gonna have to excuse me. I'm gonna be like reading a novel here. Yes. And it's Doki Doki. Oh, fries! Mmm. I smile at Jonny as he takes the poem from my hands. Will he understand what it meant? I hope he will. His poem wasn't as great as I expected it to be, but it has shown me that he's able to understand some things. Because he looks kind of stupid. I crossed my fingers behind my back. A minute passes. He's still reading my poem? Oh, I remember what Monica told me. Maybe he's just struggling to read my handwriting. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. Jonny jerks his head up and looks at me with a confused expression. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you so long to read it. Well, I just... What? You can have one of mine. You can have one of mine. Take the McChicken.
No,
You sure?
yeah,
Mine? So yours dead?
yes.
Sorry. We have a McDonald's problem. We have a crisis. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. So Jonny liked my rating. For some reason that makes me a little happy. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Well, he didn't understand my poem. Clearly, it's a bit disappointing. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Jonny. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all, but remember that poets often express their own feelings, thoughts, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of her past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Jonny nods at me with a big smile and takes his poem back. I slowly sigh. That wasn't as horrible as I expected. I ended up being able to explain my poem a little too much. But it's pretty interesting. It's a bit disappointing to see that Jonny didn't understand the main message of my poem, but I'd gladly do it again. Jonny walked towards Monica. She's already smiling at him. Sayuri is still at the table, looking around and listening to Monica and Jonny. Natsuki is just reading her manga in the corner of the room. What did they tell you? Huh? Get free food! I take a step towards her. She lifts her head. Oh, Yuri. Shared your poem with everyone already? Well, I've shared it with Monica and Jonny, and Sayuri looks like she's focusing on something else. How did it go? What are you talking about? Well, you were with Jonny a bit earlier, am I right? It looked like things went well. See, there's no reason to... Oh, don't talk about that. What? Natsuki's tone was so cold just now. How come? You should be happy to talk to him, right? He's not that bad after all. Ha ha ha. Yuri. I said no. It makes me feel uneasy being around him. So please, just don't talk about him. What's she saying? This isn't Natsuki. Natsuki would never talk like that. She's still just reading her manga as if nothing's wrong. Hey Natsuki, what's wrong? Did he say something that embarrassed you? She closes her manga. Did I sound harsh, Yuri? Natsuki looks hurt. Kind of, I just wanted to know how it went, and you suddenly answered me in a cold manner. Oh god, I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm fearing the worst. Did Johnny tell her something awful? No, he wouldn't do that. He'd probably just, ha 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 ha. I'm so sorry, Yuri, but I was reading that particularly upsetting passage of my manga. My mood suddenly fluctuates when I'm concentrating on my story. So to answer your question, I hate admitting that, but he isn't as horrible as I thought. His poem is actually really good. Of course, I couldn't tell him that, else he'd start believing he's some kind of master of poems of some sort. Did you see it too? I did. To be completely honest, I was kind of disappointed. I think he has potential, but his poem wasn't really powerful. Really? Well, I kind of disagree. There was a certain presence emanating from it. Something that compelled me to like it, you know? Haha. What are you laughing for? To think that you were hating him yesterday. You made him you made a complete 180. Well, you know what? That doesn't matter. After all, it's not like I want to get closer to him. Well, I wouldn't mind. I put my hand in front of my mouth. What am I saying? This is too awkward. You what? What do you mean? You'd like to get closer to him? As a friend, of course. You don't want to, you know. Well then, if you say so. Natsuki gives me a weird stare. Suddenly, Monika sits next to her. How's everything going? Oh, Monika, it's going well. Yuri and I already shared our poems with Johnny, so we were talking about what he wrote. We don't really agree on what to think about it, though. And remember, the way you see a poem, or any other type of art in general, is really subjective. You just have to talk about it, and say what you liked and what you disliked. Actually, I just read his poem, and if my interpretation is correct, Yuri, you just liked his poem, right? What? How did you know? It's pretty obvious. He clearly wrote a certain style, knowing Natsuki. It was clear that she'd like it. Isn't that true, Natsuki? God, Monika, don't just start saying those things. It's true that his style was interesting. It's very simplistic, yet it has a meaning behind it. It's not too elaborate. Of course, it's a first for him, but I was impressed. Oh, so you found a meaning in his poem. I thought it was well written, and I couldn't find a deeper meaning to it. Mind telling us what it's about? Monika's right. By criticizing his poem, I didn't even take the time to try to understand what he wanted to convey. Natsuki is hesitating to give her full opinion, though. Actually? How can I say this? God, I can't explain it. You know that feeling of, ugh, this is frustrating. Poems transcend words, you know? Natsuki, I don't mean to be harsh, but poems are words. Well, you get what I meant. Am I dreaming, or you've actually quoted one of your manga? Of course I didn't. Why would I do that? Monika and I burst into laughter. This situation is so ridiculous. Natsuki, however, is still looking at us with an exasperated expression. You two are children. We're just teasing you, Natsuki. Oh, by the way, Monika, what did Johnny think of your poem? Oh, my poem? I don't really think he understood what it was about. He actually called my poem freeform. Freeform? But your poem's so great, Monika. It's far from being freeform. I don't mind, though. I think he enjoyed it. He asked for an explanation, so I think he ended up learning a bit about the process of writing a poem. Oh, that's right. I haven't read your poem, Monika. Can I take a look at it? Of course. Here you go. Monika hands Natsuki her poem. She grabs it and starts eagerly reading it. I like it. It's not my style, of course, but I can see a lot of effort went into it. What's that about looking through a hole, though? I didn't really get that part. It's supposed to be the main part of the poem, actually. Well, sorry, but I really enjoyed the writing, though. That's alright. By the way, have you two shared poems with each other yet? No, we haven't. We were busy discussing Johnny's poem, so we haven't done it yet. Well then, I'll let you get to it. I'll go talk to Sayori for a little bit. Alright, let's do it. Monkeys can climb. People can fly. Well, this isn't really surprising, but I expected Natsuki to put a little bit more effort into it. I smile a little. Obviously, she didn't really try. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. We both put our respective poems back on the desk. I can see in Natsuki's eyes that she isn't too impressed by my poem either. It's true that we've never really shared our writing before, though. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. How am I supposed to answer that? I can't really find any adjectives to describe her poem. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? What's with Natsuki's behavior? She's never been this aggressive towards me. Is she just saying that because I said her poem was cute? I didn't want to be mean. I just wanted to compliment her. I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. I can't just lie to her and tell her that her poem was great. How can I tell her about what I think she needs to fix? It sounds like she really isn't in a good mood today, so she'll most likely get upset. As her friend, I have to tell her. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. What are you barking for? If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Jonny did too. Okay. She's losing her temper. I glanced at Sayori. She looks a little surprised. I thought she didn't want to participate in the sharing of poems. Natsuki never even told me that she shared hers with Sayori in the first place. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions on my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon. Okay, so this is all stuff we've already read before. That was unnecessarily passive-aggressive, but Natsuki is acting so strangely. This kind of fight never happened before, so why now? Is her behavior linked to Jonny? Is she just trying to act tough in front of him? I know I shouldn't be doing this, but Natsuki needs to have some sense knocked into her. And Jonny didn't like my poem. He was impressed. She stands up and looks at me. I can see anger burning in her eyes. This isn't the Natsuki I know. She can't just use these arguments. She knows perfectly well it's hard for me to talk to people. So this is, that's not what you're just jealous. Okay. Just a few minutes ago, we were all peacefully talking to each other, but it's her fault. She wanted it. She's in a bad mood for God knows what reason, and she's just letting her anger out on me. This is unfair. My breath more. Are you that full of yourself? I clench my fist. I don't even know if I've ever felt such an... Wow. Natsuki's just making herself look like a fool. No, I was just full of myself. I would literally go to my... Yep. Ooh. Faking her cuteness in her poems. No, thank you. This is just lame. Sayori shyly walks towards us. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? Oh, the boobs comment. Oh, so she went and said it. My best friend actually said it. I feel my nails digging into my skin as I clench my fist even harder. How can she even say something like that? Just because she wants to be the tough one? Does she even want to be admired by Jonny that badly? I'm sure he doesn't want to be near such a hopeless girl anyway. This doesn't involve you. Okay. I yelled at Monika without even thinking. This is between me and Natsuki. This is none of her business. I can feel the tension growing between me and Natsuki. I wish it didn't have to come to that, but I can't let Natsuki ruin my reputation. Her poem needs some fixing, and she's acting so childish. So I turn to Jonny and look at him straight in the eye. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. Okay, all this stuff we've already seen before. Her arguments are totally wrong, so why is she making them sound so true? Why is she acting all cute in front of Jonny? It makes me want to shout at her even more. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning them most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Jonny? Well, standing there looking alternatively between me and her. The choice shouldn't be too hard, right? My arguments are on point. There's no way he'd go for Natsuki. She's just being overly cutesy and not making any proper sense. Yuri, you're really talented. Well, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. All this stuff we've already seen before. Shows how much you know. That's not... He's trying to irritate me in front of Jonny. Does she want me to start yelling again? That won't happen. I'm not that type of person. Here, I thought we were friends. I think that's enough. Huh? Me? She's... okay, yep. She's the mean one. What we talked about, writing is a personal thing, and sharing it can definitely be hard. Looks like we learned a lot today. Even small criticism can lead to pretty heated nodding in agreement. I wonder whose side she's on. She's been very quiet today. That's unusual. You don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's all surprised. Why does she react this way if she knows that her writing is good? Thanks for noticing. She looks down, not saying another word. She should be happy to get some praise. She loves it. Yuri? I look at Jonny. Judging from the expression, I must seem awful to him. I'm sure Natsuki didn't mean everything she said, so you don't need to feel threatened either. Her smile is so soothing. Just looking at him makes my heart flutter. All the hatred I felt replaced with some sort of happiness. What is this? Well, if you say so. It's not like you need to apologize for me, Jonny. Sheesh. Think about, she looks about in the room. She's obviously in an embarrassing situation. I can't help but feel a little sorry for her. Just a little. But everyone stop staring at me. Sayuri and Monica, still watching from the back of the room, look away. It's just childish, but I'd like to hear her apologize. Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. She looks away, ignoring my gaze. I may have sounded a little harsh, or maybe way too harsh. Now that I think about it, what was I thinking? Natsuki's my friend. How could I be so mean? Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayuri. For some reason, this sounds too embarrassing for me to handle. Saying it in front of Jonny. I'll go make some tea. Turn around, leaving everyone where they were before. While I open the closet to grab the tea set, I hear Sayuri talking to Jonny. I was just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayuri. Of course she appreciated it, but it wasn't the right moment. Tea set on the table. I guess I need to get some more water again. I head to the door and I leave the club room as fast as possible. Close the door behind me. What happened? What happened to our friendship, to the good mood of the club? This was both Natsuki's fault and mine. Not only should I apologize to Natsuki, but I should everybody else. And what will Jonny think too? Now he probably sees us as mean people. Ugh. Slam my hand against my forehead. Such a stupid thing to do. It was Johnny's first day at the club as a real member, and we managed to ruin it. I sigh. I slowly walk to the nearest fountain next to the staircase. I put the kettle under the faucet and I let it fill up. Meanwhile, I go sit on the steps. I bury my face in my hands. I was so stupid. I probably hurt Natsuki too. Will she end up leaving me alone? I shouldn't have told her all those things. She's been trying her best to be outgoing and to talk to Jonny. I told her to wait and see how it goes with him, didn't I? Maybe what Monica said was right. It was jealousy. I've never felt that angry in my entire life, and seeing her destroy my reputation in front of him irritated me even more. But why would I be jealous? He's just a random person that joined the club, isn't he? But is that what you call love? No, there's no way. Leonardo da Vinci. That would be Aaron. No, there's no way I'm in love with Jonny. I've only known him for a day, and it seems like he doesn't really like me anyway. I chuckle. What am I thinking? I suddenly jerk my head up. Oh no, the kettle's overflowing with water. How did I just let it sit here that long? I quickly stand up and empty out the water from the kettle in the sink. Phew. Time to get back to business then. I quickly walk back to the room, kettle in hand. I make the water boil while I prepare a cup of tea. I'd like to ask the others if they want some, but that'd probably be too awkward considering the lively discussion they're having. Suddenly, Monica raises her voice, presumably for me to hear as well. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. I hesitated for a second. If I ignored the little argument we had, it was pretty interesting to share poems. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Natsuki glances at me. The cold stare she gives me sends a chill down my spine. Are we still friends? Jonny, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about that with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow, and maybe you learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. Another poem? It's not that I don't want to, of course, but do I have to come up with another poem idea for tomorrow? Since Jonny didn't understand this one I wrote today. Oh, that's right. I wanted to ask him what his poem was about. Jonny, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sorry, beams at Jonny. I guess now's not really the moment to talk to him then. The two of them exit the club room waving at us just like yesterday. They look perfect together. I'm definitely jealous. The club room's all silent now. I take a sip of my tea. In the end, I made too much of it. Nobody wanted a drink. Suddenly Monica comes next to me. Well then, girls, what happened? Natsuki's at the back of the room listening to Monica from afar. Come here, Natsuki. She lazily gets up and walks towards us. What is it? I know this is none of my business, but I wanted to let you both know that those arguments are pretty common when you're friends, you know. So please try to take it easy, alright? Jonny didn't have to see that. I'm terribly sorry, Monica. Yeah, me too. Then it's all good. Make sure you two have a nice talk to settle everything, alright? I know how much you two value each other, so let's not have that go to waste. Anyway, I'm gonna have to leave now, so... Already? But you stayed longer yesterday. I know, but I have things to do. Sorry. Please close the room when you leave. Monica hands the keys to Natsuki. Alright, I'll take care of it. See you tomorrow, Monica. Natsuki grabs the keys from Monica's hands and walks to the back of the class without looking at me. Despite the fact that she said things are fine between us, I can see they're not. Monica lowers her voice. Make sure you apologize. You got a truly valuable friend, don't forget that. She gives me one last smile before turning around and exiting the room. It's just Natsuki and me in the club room now. This is awkward. Natsuki's just looking out the window, not making a sound. Help. Help. What's up, Angie? Not really a game you'd probably be interested in. I pour some tea in a cup and I shyly call her. Natsuki. She doesn't even turn her head. Do you want some tea? No, thank you. How cold. I lower my gaze. Natsuki. Again, what do you need? Do you hate me? I don't dare look at her. She's silent for a few seconds. No, I don't. But what you did said hurt me. Are we still friends? All the things you said is making me doubt that we are. I stand there completely in shock. I feel a tear roll down my cheek. Natsuki, my best friend. I'm sorry. Without another word, I get up from my chair and I run out of the club room to the nearest bathroom. By the time I've entered, my sleeve was already drenched with tears. I sit on one of the toilets. I quietly sob into my sleeve. Of course Natsuki would react this way. I was so mean. I'm so sorry, Natsuki. So sorry. I rest my hand against the wall. My breath feels uneven. I didn't even cry for that long, but my throat hurts and my muscles feel tense. I take a few seconds to calm down. Just how can I apologize to her? I'm so bad at this. Serving some tea or trying to talk won't help me. I messed everything up. Yuri? I know you're in there. Stop hiding. My eyes widen. What should I say? Should I say anything at all? I open my mouth to speak, but no words come out. I push open the door of the stall to see Natsuki patiently waiting for me. Why would you even... Oh, hey, did you actually cry? I look down, hiding my eyes from Natsuki's view. I must look miserable for her to suddenly change her behavior like that. I hear her steps get closer. Yuri, God, don't just sit there in that stall like that. It's way too small. She grabs my hand and drags me out of the bathroom. Let's sit down for a little bit. Her voice is soft now. How can she be so soothing after our argument? This isn't right. Don't. Let me talk first. I sit down on the steps. Natsuki sits next to me. Our shoulders are touching. I sigh. Why is she doing this? She takes a deep breath. Alright, so listen, I'm sorry, Yuri. I acted childish and I realized that I ended up hurting you. So it's just... Haha, it's my job as a role model to show you how to be responsible, right? After all this time we spent together, why would everything collapse now? Because of Jonny? That'd be incredibly cliche. So, again, I'm sorry. It's just that I've been going through some tough times lately. I just reacted too quickly. But you said some mean things too, you know. I almost thought you hated me. Just because of a poem. That's ridiculous. Yuri? Don't tell me you're crying again, dummy. Sorry, Natsuki. Sorry for all those mean things I said. I thought you hated me. I rest my head against my knees. I start to weep. I can't even look at her right now. Suddenly, I feel a hand on my back. Hey now, of course I don't hate you. God, stop crying, will you? It hurts to see you like this. Everything's fine now, see? It's all settled. Now dry those tears and help me clean up everything in the club, alright? I take a moment to catch my breath. I feel dizzy. Will you forgive me? Of course I will. The question is, will you? Yes. Yes, I forgive you. Your poem wasn't actually as bad as I made it sound. I guess Johnny's presence just shook all of us a little bit, alright? Ha, I guess so. She looks a tad embarrassed. Tell me, Natsuki. How come you wanted Jonny to side with you that much? Didn't you tell me you hated him? No. Well, yes, but I've been thinking maybe he's not that bad. I've enjoyed his poem and all that matters. And that matters? I stare at Natsuki with a quizzical look. Hey, don't give me that look. He's just a friend, alright? Nothing more. I burst into laughter. Come on, I'm just teasing you. I grin at Natsuki. Shall we forget this whole argument then? Oh, well, if you implore me, I guess I can consider it. Please? Fine. Natsuki gets up and signs me to follow her. I guess I still need to put the tea back in the closet. We both enter. That's loud. Natsuki directly heads to the closet. It seems like she was searching for something to read while I was away. Meanwhile, I walk to the desk and get my cup of tea. I finish it in the sip and put it back on the tray. I pick it up. I guess I need to wash everything again, right? I turn around, but Natsuki calls me before I get the chance to leave. Yuri, what do you think you're doing? Huh? Well, I'm going to clean the teacups, of course. Have you forgotten about yesterday when I saved you from certain death? Just leave that to me and go sit a little. You looked tired after all that crying. Natsuki grabs the tray from my hands and quickly walks to the exit. So she really doesn't want me to get hurt again. I sit at my table waiting for her to come back. Guess it seems like she doesn't hate me. I have to make sure this doesn't happen again. I almost lost someone close to me. I don't want to let this happen again. I glance at my cell phone, hoping for the text message from my mom. Nothing. I'm really disappointed. Surprised. Suddenly, the club door opens and Natsuki proudly enters, trays in hand. There we go. I cleaned it all by myself. Who's the dependable one now? You didn't even let me clean it though. Sheesh. Doesn't mean you owe me one again. She's already back to her usual teasing. I shake my head. According to you, I owe you my life, you know. Well, obviously you do. She winks at me and puts the tea set back into the closet. She snaps her fingers. I turn my head. Come on, it's already getting late, you know. Monica told us to close the club room, so let's not settle here forever. Alright, alright. I get up from my chair and I put it back under the table. Natsuki tosses the keys to me. I wait for her to exit the room. She comes out and directly looks out the window. As I lock the door, I hear her mumbling behind me. Is anything the matter yet, Natsuki? Well, I was looking at the main park, and since no one's there, I thought maybe you'd like to go and take a walk. I mean, I know we already went out with Monica yesterday, but I thought that maybe it'd be good after what happened. Of course, I'd be glad to take a walk with you. Sweet. Natsuki laughs and runs down the stairs without waiting for me. I take some time to look out the window. The main park is right in front of our school, and as Natsuki said, no one's there. It may be getting a little late, so everyone's probably back home already. That'll be a more peaceful walk anyway. I readjust my bag on my shoulder, and I quickly walk down the stairs looking for Natsuki. Natsuki's standing there waiting for me. Why are you taking your time? Come on, be a little more active. Natsuki, do you know you do know this is who I am, right? We still have some time left. Take it easy. I don't have that much time, you know. Someone's waiting for me at home. I look down. I'm happy for Natsuki. It must feel nice to have someone waiting for her when she comes home. I see then. Let's get going. I walk past Natsuki to the exit. Just a few days left and I'll probably see my mother again. Just a few more days. I suddenly turn to Natsuki. She stares at me with a quizzical look. Hey, I was wondering. Don't you think Sayuri's been pretty silent today? No, I don't really think so. She was just probably tired considering how often she oversleeps. Or she just wanted to be alone. Don't worry about it too much. Plus, she went home with Jonny, right? So he'll probably notice if something's wrong. Is that so? Yeah. Don't read into it too much. Let's just go and enjoy our walk. I nod at Natsuki. She's probably right. I'm just imagining things. After all, we're Sayuri's friends. She'd tell us if anything is wrong. Still, I'd love to learn more about her. We rarely spend time together. So in the end, I barely know anything about her. Natsuki and I exit the school grounds and we directly head to the park. With that, I'm gonna save it. Boop. Boop. And I'm probably gonna go ahead and call this a night. I know it's a really short stream, but I got food. Food is important. So I'll see all of y'all later. I'll probably play some more of this or Pokemon Nuzlocke at a different date. But we'll see you we'll see you guys later. Bye.